our recommended next step is number one, get involved. Don't assume anything. Get involved in the process. Ask questions. Start asking some of the questions we've shared with you today. See what they're doing, how they're doing it. Get a comfort range with that. On the next slide, absolutely, you've got to engage management, and you need to assemble some resources to do this. If you're going to do this process, you need management support and you need resources to do it. This is not a super easy process. This is going to take a commitment ongoing. Management support that you really need is on the U.S. side typically. This is really what we call C-level support. If your manufacturing facility in Mexico is important to you, as it is to most companies, and represents a big part of your operation, again, like I said earlier, you don't want any surprises. You want everything to run smoothly. You're in Mexico for one reason and one reason only. It's to save money and reduce costs. And if you get hit with any of these things we're talking about today, boy, your whole objective is completely wiped out. So you get management involved. And then finally, number three, you need to go out there and you need to perform an external audit. We do recommend that you bring in an external group, at least to do the first audit the first time. That's typically what we do. We'll come in and we'll do that audit on the first shot, and then generally you'll do it kind of on an ongoing basis. But you really do want to bring in somebody out there that has that experience, has that knowledge. They can ask the right questions. They come in there with a very independent, very objective, a very open view. And I will tell you, a lot of times you go to Mexico and they go, oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Don't worry about it. Well, if you're not asking the right questions, that's exactly what they're going to tell you every single time. Assume nothing, trust, but verify.
And the other thing
that's really all this is.
And the other thing I'll mention is if you do go through an independent third party for this, make sure you go with your selection. Many times I've seen it happen where you're talking to your Mexico team, you're telling them, hey, we're going to do this audit, we're going to look at your operation, and the Mexican team says, oh, we've got a perfect consulting firm that can do this. Don't do that. Have a truly independent party that doesn't know the operation come in and do the verification. I've seen many times where the Mexican company hires a consulting company that does this, and they know each other. They work with each other, they go through it, they're working together. That's not the purpose of this. This is an audit. So
and you want to bring in something that's very, very independent. You're right. Most of the time, that audit should be initiated by the U.S. side to the Mexico side.
Should be.
It's just easier. That way, the auditors are really beholden to the U.S. side. That's who they're going to report back to. And they're really going to look at everything very objectively. That's really what this is. Again, you're not trying to challenge. You're not trying to criticize. You're not trying to question Mexico. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm going to offend them. If you get into that mindset, they have all the control in the world, and they'll do whatever they do. And then when something goes bad, I'll tell you what they do. They typically just throw up their hands and they walk away. They go, oh, well, we didn't have the resources. We didn't have the support. And they make all the excuses. The bottom line is you really want to take the initiative and move on this. As I said, if you do these next things as your next step, I think you'll have an operation that's giving you great results, great outcomes. You're saving money. You're reducing costs. No surprises, and everything should be good, and everybody should be happy. And that's really what we all want in this process. So I think that's about it.